Hey guys, what's up? I am down here in my basement where I have my seed starting rack set up that you guys have already seen, and I am here to plan my garden and show you guys how I organize my seeds and also show you my garden space. So first off, I'm going to show you how I organize my seeds and we will go from there. So I don't have a ton of seeds. I mean, a good amount, but nothing serious. So I just have these two clear-ish containers I got from Target in the bathroom organizing section. And what I do is I group my seed packs by type. Then I just put a paper clip on them so they stay together. And this works really well for me. And then the kind of one-off seed packs, like these interesting potato seeds, and I have just a pack of flower seeds. I just keep them loose. So here's melons, and then beans. This works pretty well even for the larger seed packs. So that's what I do. Nothing really crazy. And then here's the other one, organized the same way. This works really well for me. They used to kind of be all loose everywhere and that wasn't really working. So I got these two containers and I grouped them all together, a couple weeks ago, so I'm all ready to go. So now let's take a look at my garden space. All right, here is my garden area. I have 5 4x8 raised beds and a 4-foot wide strip running along the top of them. And there's also like space all around them. And then our sad fence to keep my dog out. So we also have a little corner over here where we planted stuff last year. And there's some, still some sunflower stalks. So we'll probably plant something here, like maybe corn or something. I think that would be just fine. All right, so I have drawn out a diagram of my garden. So what you saw in the clip before this, I have 5 raised beds that are 4x8, and then I have this like 4-foot strip above where my beds are, and then right between the concrete and the beds. So I'm gonna do some planning, and I think the first thing I'm gonna start with are tomatoes. So pretty much we're lucky, pretty much the whole section of our yard, like this whole section, gets pretty good sun. There's not that much shade. I would say probably these 3 get the most sun, so I'll probably focus my tomatoes in this half of the yard, or this 2/3. So I think I'm going to put them in, I'll do these 2 middle beds. Alright, so I've penciled in all of my tomato plants. So that's 8 per box. I think that's right. Alright, so I've written down on the back here a list of things that you can intercrop with your tomatoes. I'll just hold that up there. So herbs, beans, lettuce, and carrots. So the herbs and lettuce can be planted kind of on the inside of the tomato plants, like in the centers here. And the carrots and beans, the carrots, beets, and beans can go like on the outside. So I'm just gonna mark those like with a circle or something. So the herbs, I'll do an H. Then on the outside, do like C for carrot. Or like beans, bush beans. So that's like probably good for the tomato beds. So I'm gonna go put these back. All right, so now I'm gonna plan out my onions. So I have a shallot, Walla Wallas, sweet white Spanish, scallions, leeks, and a red onion. So I'm gonna do all of these, not very many of each, just so I can, you know, pack as many in as possible. Since onions, they do require a lot of sun, so I'm gonna put them in this bed here. For simplicity, I'm just gonna write onions on that bed. All right, so now we have to plan for these two. I know I at least wanna build one trellis for cucumbers and beans, but I also have a bunch of squash that I want to plant. I want this bed to have a trellis. Okay, so do cucumber and then cucumber. I think that'll probably be enough room, especially since I'm gonna grow them vertically. And then I think here I'm gonna do beans, pole bean. All right, so have a Contender and then Kentucky Wonder. And these two I think are the same. No, this one's Aroma, that's a bush. And then Blue Lake is a pole. So the bush beans will go with my tomatoes, so I can set those aside. And so I think I'm gonna do one plant per variety again, so that it's not, I don't bite off more than I can chew. And you just direct sow these. So just do bean, bean. And then I have this half. Maybe I'll try to do a squash plant. I think I'll have enough room up here since it's gonna drain better. Squash, squash. Have melons too. Okay, I think, so I have cantaloupe and a watermelon. And I'm gonna do one or both of these in these last two squares. Okay, I'm just gonna do melon. Final bed. All right, so I'm gonna put the Blue Lake pole beans here. I'm gonna make a trellis out of furring strips, I think. You put, I think I saw it on Gary Polarchik's channel, you put 3 poles in the ground like that. You plant 1 seed at each pole, and then you tie the poles at the top. So it's like kind of like a little hut for the beans. Yeah. So I'll do that there. And then I want to do the other melon. Maybe I can do that like here. That gives me some room kind of like at the end here and then on the sides. I do want to try to grow a cabbage or 2. So I think I'm going to put this at the end here with the kale. So cabbage and then kale. Yeah. I'm gonna tackle this area now. So currently there's garlic here. I'm gonna do potatoes here. Potatoes. Now, I showed you in that clip that we have this little space like in the corner of this little section of our yard. This is not to scale at all, but it does the trick. I have two corn varieties, True Gold and Martian Jewels. This looks pretty cool. I wanted to get, I had like a rainbow corn on my list of like seeds to get, but they didn't have it, so this is fine. I definitely wanted like a more traditional kind of corn, and I think we probably have more corn seeds somewhere else, but I could not find them. Okay, so I just remembered that I forgot to include my peppers in this. And I definitely have a few pepper seed packs, and I definitely want to grow them. So I have jalapeno, California Wonder, bell pepper, and then ancho and poblano, and then some more jalapeno. So I'm definitely gonna do all three of these. See where I can squeeze it in. Might do some, like a plant each at the top of my tomato beds, and then I think I'm gonna put the third one in between squash and melon. I don't know if that's gonna fit very well, but maybe I can also put it here. We'll see. So I have 4 potential locations for 3 plants. So yeah, maybe I'll try to do some in containers too. I don't know if that will work. But anyway, I wanted to include that because I definitely want to grow peppers. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a look at what my garden plan looks like now that I've gone over all the pencil with some color. It looks a lot better. Yeah, starting on the left-hand side with that little corn patch, and the onions, 2 tomato beds, and then the last 2. Okay, so there we go. For just kind of the various things that are left. Of course, garlic, maybe, there we go, and potatoes. And like I said earlier, I plan on getting some containers to add maybe a few other plants that I can set up in containers and hopefully use those tomato stakes with, so like cucumbers or something, just so I can maximize my space as much as possible. But yeah, that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe for more gardening videos. Like I've said before, I'm really excited for this spring and summer and fall. I'm gonna try to plant all 3 times. So yeah, stick around and we'll see what we can grow. Bye.